Today's notes will be on rounding. We are going to put in our rounding rhyme. This is my favorite way to remember how to round. You need your blue math folder, you need a pencil, and you need your red marker. And let's get started. So we are going to turn to page 6 in our folder. All right, and we are going to title this page the rounding rhyme. All right, and we are going to go ahead and block our page off. I bet you guys are getting quick at this, aren't you? All right, so let's block our page. And we're going to go about halfway, maybe just a tiny bit above halfway. And we are going to get started writing. All right, so for this rhyme, we are going to put find your number, comma, look next door. Find your number, look next door. We're starting a new line. Five or higher, comma, add one more. And always, if you need to pause, go ahead and pause the video so you don't fall behind. All right? And the last line, we are going to say 4 or less. Just ignore. All right. So this is the whole rounding rhyme. Find your number, look next door. All right, and I want you to take your red marker, and this is a really, really, really important piece. That's why we're using a red marker for it, so it will really stick out. Once you find your number, right above look next door, we are going to make like an arrow going to the right. All right, so find your number, look next door. Now the reason it's important for that arrow to go that way is because when you rhyme, you look at the next door neighbor to the right. All right, you always look to the right of the number that you're looking for. All right, and then if the next door neighbor is 5 or higher, you add one more. And if the next door neighbor is 4 or less, you just ignore and keep that number. All right, so we are going to do some practice. So right down here, the first number I want you to write is 5,725. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's round to the hundreds place. The hundreds place. So that's where find your number comes in. So find your number. I want to find the number in the hundreds place. The number in the hundreds place here is the 7. So find your number. I'm going to go ahead and use my red marker, and I'm going to do another arrow. Look next door. Then you look at the next door neighbor to the right. So you look for the 2. If that 2 is 5 or higher, you're going to add one more. 4 or less, just ignore. So since 2 is 4 or less, we're going to keep this number the same. All the numbers to the left, you go ahead and keep the same. We keep our 7 the same because this guy is 4 or less. And anytime you round a number, whatever number, when it was find your number, whatever number we're rounding to, all of the other digits are zeros. So this will be a 0 and this will be a 0. Just like that. All right, we're going to do some more examples. Let's write the number 850,000. And I'd like you to round to the 100,000s place. So find your number. The digit in the 100,000s place is 8. So find your number. Look next door. Now the next door neighbor is 5 or higher in this one. All right, so I'm going to add one more. So adding one more to the 8 is 9. And then in our rounding rules, all of the rest of the digits become a 0. So the 5 is a 0, this is a 0, 0, 0, 0. All right, let's write the number 301,587. And this time we are going to round to the thousands place. So find your number in the thousands place this time. So the 1 is the digit in the thousands place. Find your number. Look next door. The next door neighbor is 5 or higher, so we need to add one more. We're going to make him a 2. Keep all of these guys to the left. So we keep our 3, we keep our 0. We need to add one more here because this is a 5. 302,000. And then remember, all of the numbers to the right of the number we found are zeros, because we are finding the number closest to that place value. So is 301,587 closer to 301,000 or closer to 302,000? And in this case, it's closer to 302,000. All right, let's do some more examples. What if I have 10,832? Okay, I would like you to round to the, let's do the tens place this time. So find your number. The digit in the tens place is the 3. So find your number. Look next door. Remember, we always look to the right, the next door neighbor. 5 or higher, add one more. 4 or less, just ignore. Since this is a 2, we just ignore. We just leave that 3 the way it is. Now remember, all my guys to the left stay the same. So 10,800. We're leaving our 3 this time, and all the guys over here become a 0. So this time, and what this tells me is that 10,832 is closer to 10,830 than 10,840. Okay, we're going to do 2 more examples, friends. So let's do 64,999. And I would like you to round to the 10,000s place. So find your number in the 10,000s place, would be the 6. Find your number, look next door. 5 or higher, add one more. 4 or less, just ignore. So since this is a 4, I'm going to just ignore. I'm not going to put one more on there. So I'm going to leave my 6. And then all the other numbers become a 0 when you round. What this tells me is that 64,999 is closer to 60,000 than 70,000. Okay? Now, let's do one last example. Let's do 79,999. And let's round to the 10,000s place again. So find your number in the 10,000s place. It's going to be my 7. Find your number. Look next door. 5 or higher, I need to add one more. So I'm going to add one more to my 7. And notice I don't have any more numbers to the left, so that'll be the first number. I add one more, so 8, and all of my other numbers become 0. And what this tells me is that 79,999 is closer to 80,000 than 70,000. Right? So that is your rounding rhyme and a couple of examples of rounding.